But these days, young Asians are much more conscious of their health. That's spurring demand for physical activities from Pilates to pickleball, making the industry a multi-billion-dollar business opportunity across Asia. Jack Thomas, who's been running a gym in Thailand for about 10 years, says programs like Hyrox are the latest iteration of the wellness trend in the region.
Well, it was probably 18 months ago that we joined as a Hyrox gym. We've just seen sort of explosive growth, really. So now both of our locations are Hyrox training clubs. Our Hyrox classes are some of the busiest that we have.
Thomas runs 2 out of 25 gyms in Bangkok offering Hyrox classes. At one of them, 32-year-old Prao Vidhaya and her boyfriend are training for a proper race in Seoul, since the last race in Bangkok sold out. She says she likes Hyrox because it's challenging but accessible.
Yeah, but I think for Thai people in general, it's the whole hype. And Hyrox is so easy to enter because you can do as a couple, you can do as a team of 4, so the bar to enter the race is very low.
I tried out some classes myself in October. They play high-energy music and repeat movements from the competition, like burpees or rowing, in short, intense bursts.
This is my 3rd Hyrox class here in Bangkok, and they're all about the same, going through the stations. Today we're doing 4 and switching through them. It's about 15 people here. 30 minutes in, I'm already pretty tired.
Another trainee here is Tawan Taradora Tanakorn, a 28-year-old pet groomer and YouTube host. He started taking Hyrox classes to try something new, and because his fitness idols were doing it too.
Many Thai influencers go for the gym, maybe Pilates, Hyrox, HIIT, go running, and everybody are following them.
Gym owner Thomas says Hyrox has helped open the door for amateur athletes to try out new, rival competitions as well. That's putting him on the lookout for what trend may come next.
People eventually will be looking for new experiences, new things to do.
What's key, he says, is to keep them from getting bored. For NPR News, I'm Stephanie Young reporting from Bangkok.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
What the artificial intelligence boom looks like right now is a whole lot of data centers being built in a whole lot of places.
Data is becoming more and more valuable. It's almost like the new oil, if you think about it, in terms of value proposition.
I'm Kai Rizdal. We will go to the center of the AI universe next time on Marketplace.
That's Marketplace, beginning at 6 on Radio IQ every weekday.
Support for Radio IQ comes from the Southern Environmental Law Center for Black History Month, highlighting their storytelling series, Plantations to Pollution, tracing the path from yesterday's plantations to today's environmental harms. More at plantationstopollution.org. And by the Nature Conservancy, for nearly 70 years, dedicated to protecting Virginia's lands and waters, including Warm Springs Mountain and the Clinch River Valley. Learn more at nature.org/Virginia.
Quite cold for the foreseeable future. Your Radio IQ forecast. A cold weather advisory is in effect for areas along and north of Interstate 64. In addition to the Allegheny Highlands tonight, wind chill values as low as 15 degrees below zero are possible. A few more clouds will try to work into the region overnight. It'll be fairly breezy, especially along and west of the Blue Ridge, with lows in the single digits and teens, feeling colder because of the winds. A mix of sun and clouds across the region tomorrow, still cold and fairly breezy, with highs in the mid-20s to 36 degrees for Danville, still feeling colder because of those winds. A small chance for some light mountain snow showers in southwest Virginia Wednesday night. Fairly clear otherwise, still pretty breezy for areas along and west of the Blue Ridge. Overnight lows on Wednesday in the single digits and teens once again, with wind chill values being even lower.
From NPR News, it's All Things Considered. I'm Scott Detrow.
And I'm Mary Louise Kelly. In China, as in the U.S., many people are wary of an AI-dominated future. But for some kids, learning to use artificial intelligence is no longer an option. It is mandatory. NPR's John Ruich visited an elementary school in Beijing to learn more.
11-year-old Li Zichen shows off a small robot. a wheeled vehicle that he programs with AI and that can lift and move objects. It's a small project, but he's thinking big about the rovers that China sent to Mars and the moon. He says the signal delay from Earth makes real-time human control impractical. Rovers need to make choices on their own, which he says is why AI plays a crucial role in China's deep space exploration. For his classmate, Song Haoyue, artificial intelligence has been a paintbrush. She explains how she used AI in a graphic design competition, creating a poster about a mythical bird that tries to fill in the ocean one pebble at a time. It's a parable about perseverance. For these Chinese fifth graders, AI is a tool that can be inspiring and fun and creative. But the adults in the room have a much more specific agenda. Wang Le is their teacher at an elementary school in Beijing's University District. As of this school year, she explains, the Ministry of Education has put in place a new framework.
They require integrating AI courses into the information technology curriculum.
In other words, AI is now officially part of the primary and secondary school curriculum in Beijing and several other places. Third graders learn the basics of AI. Fourth graders focus on data and coding. By fifth grade, students are learning about intelligent agents and algorithms. It's about preparing kids for the future, she says. And another thing.
It's about enhancing the country's competitiveness by securing a future pool of skilled professionals.
Build a strong nation through science and technology, she says. It's a political slogan that encapsulates perhaps the ruling Communist Party's biggest dream. And AI has been labeled essential for national security and economic competitiveness. The government aims for China to become a global leader in AI within the next 4 years. But while the state's main goal with the AI in schools policy is developing a pool of talent, parents here, like all parents, are thinking about their children's future. In a tiny sixth-floor walk-up apartment, I meet Li Yutian, the father of the boy who's into robotics. He tells me he recently took his son to a Xiaomi factory. Xiaomi makes some of China's best-selling cell phones, gadgets, and cars, and they talked on the way home.
And actually, I said in the future, if you want mechanical type work, you might, for example, do things like maintenance on robots or program them and guide them rather than competing with them.
He told Zichen he'd need to find work that AI cannot do and differentiate himself to survive. In China, there is debate about some of the same issues Americans are grappling with, things like over-reliance on AI or kids having stunted problem-solving skills. Zichen's father thinks China's internet restrictions will help stave off some of the worst risks of AI, like kids getting exposed to violent content. But sheltering kids from this technology is not the way to go.
I've always believed that not embracing it may be the greatest risk of all.
Song Zofeng, the father of the girl who made the poster with AI, agrees for the most part.
It
depends on the level. For 5th and 6th grades at elementary school level, overexposure is not appropriate.
He says 11-year-olds just should not be online much anyway. But Song thinks having AI be a part of the curriculum is a smart move. It's unclear how AI will change society, he says, but it is clear that it will. And if his daughter can be inspired by what she's learning in class, maybe she'll be in a better position to weather the coming change. John Ruich, NPR News, Beijing.
Support for All Tech Considered comes from Capital One, offering their premium travel card Venture X. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Details at CapitalOne.com.
So who's got it better in life, kids or grown-ups? On one hand, you've got homework. On the other hand, mortgages. It's tough. A group of fourth graders in Closter, New Jersey did some serious reporting on this topic, looking at questions like, who really has more freedom? Is it bad to have so many responsibilities? They sent us their findings as part of NPR's Student Podcast Challenge.
Adults versus kids. Today, we are going to interview 4 special guests. I'm Ella. I'm Emma. And I'm Emmy. First, Ashley from Mexico.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
And they're representing adults. For kids, we have Ella. And hi, I'm Ella. Let's get straight into it. Why do you think your side is better? Adults.
I liked life as a child, but I think I would rather have life as an adult because I have more freedom. Obviously, I have to show up to work and I have to do my job and do various things like that, make sure my bills are paid on time. But if I want to go into New York City on the weekend, I am totally free to do that. I'm not bound by anyone else's schedule like I was a child.
Thank you for sharing. Now, kids. Okay, I think it's better to be a kid because when you're an adult, you have to worry about taxes and your credit card and like bank accounts. But when you're a kid, your parents are gonna buy everything for you, and you can do whatever you want as a kid. Why do you think the opposing side is better? I love to be an adult, stay up late, binge watching shows, like so much fun, eating Oreos for dinner. My God, who wouldn't want to do that? But I do love being a kid, but I would really want to be an adult. Adults, now your turn.
I actually think children have more fun lives because nobody looks at you sideways when you take your Build-A-Bear out in public.
Okay.
I really wish I just had time in the middle of the day where I could take a nap. Being an adult means there's a lot of responsibilities that take a lot of time, and sometimes I want to vibe, I want to chill, and that it's sometimes adult responsibilities get in the way of that.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Next question. Who is more responsible? Adults may go first.
Listen, I know some really responsible children, but I also know some really irresponsible adults. I think responsibility is something you learn as you get older, but like I said, there are some really responsible children and some really irresponsible adults. So I'm going to give it 50-50. I think we both win that one.
All right. Emma? I'd have to agree with Ashley. I do think can be responsible, but I think adults are more responsible when they're, like, more responsible. Thank you for being here and talking and answering all the questions. And thank you for listening to our podcast. We really enjoyed having you. Bye.
That was an excerpt from Kids vs. Adults by Emma Hayan, Emma Perez, and Ella El Haviv. They are students at the Acton Academy of Bergen County in Closter, New Jersey. Their podcast was one of the fourth grade winners of the 2025 NPR Student Podcast Challenge. This year's contest for students in grades 4 through 12 is now open for entries.
You are listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Progressive Insurance with its Name Your Price tool, a way to see coverage options based on a driver's budget. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Price and coverage match limited by state law. From the estate of Joan B. Kroc, whose bequest serves as an enduring investment in the future of public radio and seeks to help NPR produce programming that meets the highest standards of public service in journalism and cultural expression. And from the Cy Sims Foundation, since 1985, supporting advances in science, education, and the arts towards a fairer, more just, and civil society. More information is available at cysimsfoundation.org.
Hi, this is Program Director Nicholas Yee. We've made a few changes to the Radio IQ schedule, and a few of your favorite shows may have moved to a different time slot. The new schedule and show descriptions can be found on our website, radioiq.org. And thank you for listening.
You're listening to Radio IQ on WVTF Roanoke, WRIQ Charles City Richmond, WVTU Charlottesville, WVTW Charlottesville, WVTR Marion, WISE FM Wise, WQIQ Spotsylvania, WIUR Lexington, WEHC Emory, HD3 of WURV Richmond, and on 92.5 Richmond and 94.9 Fredericksburg. Radio IQ, a listener-supported community service of Virginia Tech, on your smart speaker and online at radioiq.org.
Marketplace is made possible in part by Olio Financial Planning, helping entrepreneurs and businesses with employee benefits, insurance, and tax planning. Details at meetolio.com.
Marketplace is supported by Progressive. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects small businesses with customizable coverage options as unique as your business. More at progressivecommercial.com.
Okay, so they call it artificial intelligence, but the AI economy is very, very real. From American Public Media.
Good evening and welcome to the evening session starting at 6 p.m. K certification resolution. In the closed session just concluded, nothing was discussed except the matter which was identified in the motion to convene in closed session. Only those matters lawfully permitted to be discussed under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed. Is there a motion to adopt the certification resolution?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Item L, second reading of the ordinance and public hearing. Number 1, the petition of Katie Gray on behalf of Walmart Real Estate Business Trust to amend a special use permit condition regarding the architectural plans, including exterior materials and colors for the Clearbrook Walmart on approximately 29.97 acres of land, zone C2S, high-intensity commercial district with conditions and CVOD, Clearbrook Village Overlay District, located at 5350 Clearbrook Village Lane, Cave Spring Magisterial District. Philip Thompson, Director of Planning, second reading and public hearing. Hello, Philip.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Chairman and members of the board. Kind of walk through this. I think it's pretty easy to understand. Clearbrook Walmart is seeking to change its exterior colors, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but it's located off of Franklin Road, Route 220, also Clearbrook Village Lane, also backs up to Singing Hills Road, and also along Stable Road in the Cave Spring District. So the property address is 5350 Clearbrook Village Lane. It's a little under 30 acres. It's the current Walmart there in Clearbrook, retail use. So what they want to do is amend a special use permit condition to change the proposed color scheme to the building facades of the existing Clearbrook Walmart. That's what the special use permit is for. Now, also part of this project, but not part of the special use permit, is they are proposing a 7,000 plus square foot addition, which you kind of see here in yellow, and also some sign modifications. The reason the 7,000 square foot addition doesn't require a special use permit, it complies with the conditions of the special use permit. So a little bit of background on Clearbrook. So in 2000, residents of the Clearbrook area worked with county staff to develop design guidelines for the Clearbrook Village Commercial Overlay District. The guidelines were adopted as part of the county's comprehensive plan at that time, and most of the guidelines were then incorporated in the Clearbrook Village Overlay District. In 2006, Whole Rob came in with an application to rezone a little over 4 acres from AR to C2 and obtain a special use permit, which was approved for 41 plus acres for the Clearbrook Walmart. The special use permit was approved with 9 conditions in the ordinance, which I think is in your packet. Included that all buildings being constructed in conformance to the architectural plans, including specific exterior materials and colors. Then in 2009, Walmart sought amendments to the special use permit conditions for both a new sign and changes to the exterior elevations. The reason why they came in back then is because the original 2006 plans referenced specific Sherwin-Williams colors that were no longer available. So they came in revised architectural plans and similar to the original approved architectural plans, but that's the reason why they did that in 2009. Then come to today, Walmart has applied for an amendment to the special use permit to change the exterior building color scheme, which the original proposal is not in substantial conformance to the architectural plans approved. That's why they need to go through the special use permit process. So, some renderings. You see the top one is the 2006, was approved in 2006. In the middle is the 2009 amendment, which goes to more generic description of the colors, and then the original proposed drawing that Walmart was proposing with this originally, as far as the front elevations go. So you kind of see, here's what the front of the current Walmart looks like. You can see that is. Then, again, the left side of the building, left elevation, again, 2006 is the top, 2009 is the bottom, and what the original proposal was for this project is at the bottom. And again, a photo of what those look like today. And then on the right-hand side, where the pharmacy is, pharmacy drive-in, you see, again, the three levels, the original 2006, the revised 2009, and then the original proposed elevation that we did for this application. And then the rear of the building. So solid gray on the back, solid dark gray on the back, on the bottom, versus what's shown in 2006 and 2009. So as far as zoning is concerned, it is zoned high-intensity commercial, surrounding zoning. You have AR to the north, to the south is C2. You got to the east is AR and AV and C2 as well, and then to the west is C2. So mainly surrounded by C2 and some ag zoning as well. It is core. Core is our highest intensity commercial district in our future land use plan, so obviously retail sales would be consistent with that future land use designation. And then, we have the Clearbrook Village design guidelines. So new structures and substantial additions to existing structures should respect the traditions of historically significant architectural examples at Clearbrook. Compatibility with shall be achieved using similar building massing, materials, scale, colors, and/or other architectural features. Where large buildings are proposed, landscaping and architectural facades shall be used to lessen their impact, and select materials for harmony with chosen buildings located within the project area. Again, exterior materials such as exposed standard concrete, block, metal, and brightly colored siding will not be allowed. Material shall be in the range of earth tones. So, back on January 6th, Planning Commission held a public hearing. 4 citizens spoke in opposition to the request. The concerned issues raised included the dark and unpleasant color scheme, lighting. Proposed color scheme would be an eyesore. Proposed color scheme would be another impact to the neighborhood, which includes tractor-trailer traffic and noisy trash compactors in the morning. Reasons behind the Clearbrook overlay was to create a community look by keeping the area's color scheme and earth tones and keep it from being an eyesore. And Clearbrook community came together to ensure it would look like a certain way. And if Walmart wants to be part of the community, it needs to conform to the standards in place. The Planning Commission discussed the history of the Walmart project, the architectural renderings and building color schemes from 2006, 2009, and 2026, the Clearbrook Village Overlay District standards, as well as design guidelines, the special use permit conditions, Walmart branding, lighting, signage. They also talked about significant citizen involvement in creating the overlay district and design guidelines on what the community would look like in the future, and the amount of time and input spent on the original Walmart application, including architectural renderings and color scheme. So at that time, the Planning Commission did recommend denial of the special use permit request to amend the special use permit condition regarding the architectural plans, including exterior materials and colors for the Clearbrook Walmart. After the Planning Commission meeting, we did reach out to Walmart to see what they wanted to do as far as they want to go forward, what do they want to do. They asked if they could submit revised drawings. We said that we've had that in the past, which they did. We met with them last Thursday on 2 different options. We talked about some of the positives of each of those options. And then they took components of each of those and submitted a revised set of drawings, which you should have a copy of. And so these are the set of drawings that they submitted. Took away a little bit of the blue. The only blue is by the Walmart sign. We'll keep the original brick that's there today. Won't paint that, which in the original proposal, I think they were going to paint a darker brown, a little bit lighter gray, and still using some of the darker gray as part of this. So when you look at the front elevations from 2009, what they were originally proposed, and then what they are revising, that is what they're requesting approval for tonight. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Mr. Thompson, with respect to the other Walmart we have in Roanoke County, namely the one on East 460, Mr. North's district, does the county have any proffered conditions or SUP permit limitations on color schemes for that Walmart?
No. So looking back, it's zoned, our ordinance goes back to 92, our current zoning ordinance. So there's no actions that have taken place on it since 92. If there were proffers, obviously, I think, as we talked about, Orchards was probably late 70s or 80s it was approved. I imagine the property for Walmart and Lowe's was zoned back then. So there are no proffer conditions on the commercial property at the Bonsack Walmart.
Thank you.
I have a question, unless you're finished.
Yes, sir, I'm done.
So I live near that Walmart, and I've noticed they were doing some remodeling with this similar color scheme because it seemed like it was a corporate thing to do in most of the renovations.
Right.
And by the way, they did a renovation pretty quickly, inside and out on the facade.
Yeah, my understanding is the 7,000 square feet, there will also be interior renovations as part of this project as well, but then the color scheme is part of it as well, like they're doing in Bonsack.
Right.
Any questions? I'd like to invite the petitioner, a representative for Walmart, to speak. Please state your name and address and your affiliation.
My name is Nate Clark. My address is in Manassas, and I'm with Boulder Engineering.
Okay. Would you like to speak?
I don't really think that hasn't already been covered, really. But I guess the new elevation, we try to match it closer to the original, what's currently existing. Less like dark grays. I know a previous concern from the last meeting was a lot of like bright blues. And how it doesn't really comply with like earth tone colors. We reduced the amount of like light blue colors for the new elevation, and really just trying to like minimize the like dark grays as well. So a lot of lighter grays in the new design.
Okay.
May I ask?
Paul, do you have any questions? Bill?
Hold on just a minute. I was speaking right now, it's just a Walmart representative.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Park, did you not know that this was an overlay district with the restrictions before you filed for this? Apparently you must have, because
Originally, the colors we proposed originally were based on like some corporate color scheme change. So I don't think we were aware of the condition at the time when that color was chosen, but that original color was based on like corporate standards. But the only reason why we changed it recently was because of the SU, or the previous meeting from January 6th. But
you had any problems with other Walmart renovations where you run into restrictions on colors in other parts of Virginia and or the other states?
We work on a lot of Walmart projects. I don't think I came across a scenario where we had this specific scenario where there was a SUP condition for the color of the building. So I didn't have this come up for any other Walmarts I've worked on.
I have a
Thank you.
quick question, and when I was looking, I don't know if we can get staff to help us get back to the color schemes, the newer color scheme. And I think I heard you say, yes, that the one on the bottom is now what we are looking at. So there is less dark gray and less blue. And from what I understand, the brick will not be painted. Is that correct?
Yes, the brown is not painted, yes.
So the spaces in between, I couldn't really tell from this color copy because sometimes the colors aren't true. But what it looks like is that there are sections that are painted gray, but the whole building is not painted gray, and there's a much reduced blue section.
Oh, yes, correct, yes.
That's all.
Is this the one we're looking at right here?
Yep, that's what we have. That's what we have.
What's that labeled? What is that labeled? Exhibit C?
It's sheet A2.
Yeah, A2.
Did you have any questions,
I'm good.
Did you have?
I'm good.
Okay. We appreciate all who have come to address the board today, both those who are able to come in person as well as those who will participate virtually via the Microsoft Teams meeting information, which is available on the Roanoke County website at www.roanokecountym/m/news/home/detail/6045. We will first hear from the citizens who are present in person, and will then call upon those who desire to address the board remotely. When your name is called, please come forward, state your name and your address prior to sharing your comments. Each person is permitted to speak for up to 3 minutes. At the front of the podium is a light system that tells you how much time you have remaining. When the light changes from green to yellow, please share any concluding remarks. When the light changes from yellow to red, your time has ended. While the board desires to hear from all who desire to speak, we ask that speakers refrain from repeating the comments already made by others.
Madam Chair, be sure you open the public hearing.
I'm sorry, did I fail to do so?
You just say we're now.
We are now opening the public hearing.
Thank you.
Go.
I'm sorry.
That's good.
The first we'll call is Holly Aloof.
Hi, my name is Holly Aloof. I live at 5160 Singing Hills Road, which is right directly behind Walmart. And I am here to oppose the Walmart sign color changes. I have lived in this area for over 100 years. Well, not me. My family has lived there over 100 years. Need to get that right. But we were there long before Route 220 went in, before the Blue Ridge Parkway went in, and long before any commercial development that is now in Clearbrook. I am writing today to express my strong opposition to Walmart's request for a variance that would allow them to paint their signage a bright blue corporate color, despite the fact that their store is located in the Clearbrook Overlay District, which was created to prevent this type of visual and commercial intrusions. Walmart has requested a special use permit for a non-earth tone corporate color that violates the intent of the overlay district and sets a dangerous precedent. In addition, Walmart has already installed excessive lighting on the rear of the building that has dramatically impacted neighboring residents through nighttime light pollution, noise, and disruption of rural character. Since Walmart's arrival, our quality of life has declined significantly due to stagnant retention pond water, mosquito infestations, increased nuisance wildlife, trucks idling all hours of the day and night, the box compactors that they put right at the residence go at all hours of the day and night. And they do not keep their property up, which anybody that has gone by this property can see that they do nothing to the property. This variance will not increase tax revenue or improve Clearbrook. It will only impose a more visually aggressive corporate presence on our community. I urge you to deny Walmart's request and uphold the Clearbrook Village Overlay District as it was intended, a protective standard for residents, not a flexible guideline for corporations. And I have this is what I used to look at from my house. Okay? This is what I see during the day now. This is my nighttime visuals. And I will be happy to give these to you for you to look at so you can see what we deal with. If you would like, if anybody would like to see these.
You can give them to Ron.
Give them to the clerk.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Chris Aloof.
Thank you. I'm Chris Aloof. I live at 5160 Singing Hills Road. I've been there for 27 years. And Walmart has definitely influenced our property value, all kinds of things. When she's talking about nuisance animals, one of the things that people don't realize is the geese that pond attracts. They also come over and land in our horse pastures and drop what they drop. So we've got to stay real close on that. As far as the colors of Walmart, I don't agree with any changes. As my wife stated, that if we flex on the changes of Walmart, obviously in 2006 they had a color set, and in 2009 they changed it again. Now here we are again. They're trying to change the color again to be a bright blue. I think everybody in Clearbrook knows where the Walmart is. If you're passing through and you can't see a 200,000 square foot building, you need to look a little closer. One of the things that my wife also stated was their maintenance. They do not take care of this building, the grounds around it. In 2006, they built the building. In 2009, I talked to Roanoke County. I said, when are you guys going to get them to mow the grass? And they said, well, we've tried getting them to mow the grass. We've even sent people over there. In 2009, they sent somebody over there to mow the grass. And what they did was they mowed over all of the 12-inch tall trees that were planted on the back of Walmart. Well, as you can see in these pictures, that's all you see is Walmart from my house. They have stationed lighting all over the back of Walmart so the tractor trailers can come and go. They've got outward projecting lights from the building, inward projecting lights from remote gas-powered light stations. And that's all you see. One thing that they didn't disclose to us when they were building Walmart was that there was going to be 200 skylights on top of the building. So what do we see now? We see all the light coming from the top of the building at night. We don't see the stars anymore. I've got the dealership down the street with outward projecting lights. I've got the quarry up on the hill with outward projecting lights. And now I've got Walmart with outward projecting lights. And now they want a variance. I would say don't flex. I'm asking you guys, please, don't flex. They're here, they're making their money, they're paying their taxes, they're not maintaining their property, they've an extenuous amount of light pollution, all these other things that my wife spoke about. And that's kind of what, as a person that lives right behind Walmart, I'm telling you, this is what happens every day. And you can see in those the pictures, I've even got videos, the tractor trailers standing there idling and running all night long. We hear it. We hear it in our house. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Harry Norris.
Good morning. Harry Norris, 5346 Amanda Lane. One street behind on the side of Roanoke Mountain, whatnot. I've lived in Clearbrook for 48 years. I helped work on the overlay that we did there. We wanted to keep Clearbrook a rural-type community. I didn't mean it's backwoods, but it's a rural-type community. And that's why we went with the earth tones instead of the bright visual changes or whatnot. We're Clearbrook. We're not Loudoun County or Northern Virginia or whatnot, but we are Clearbrook. I apologize for how I look right now. I've been pushing snow for 2 days on our driveways and all the neighbors' driveways, because that's what we do in Clearbrook. We stick together and help each other. When we developed this overlay, we did it to protect so that we could have the mild look, but also the quality, say, of a Walmart. If you notice the lighting at Walmart, it's a certain height limitation projected down. It does not show stark lights like you'd see at the car dealership or somewhere else, but it creates an easy look when you come in. Everybody knows what Walmart is. It's plenty of lighting, plenty to be able to see. What I worried about on the first time with the really dark colors, it's going to pull the lighting down. With the light earth tones that we have there, the lighting that we have is more reflective off of the earth tones that are on the building. I don't think we should demise or lower the light looms, or whatever you want to call them, or something. In the overlay, we took into consideration what needed to be done for the community so that we can do. Walmart is a good neighbor as far as I'm concerned, because I live 2 mountains, or a mountain behind, away. But I think they're good. I just don't like the color. I don't want them to come in and change the color at all. I think the new color that they modified scares me that they're going to come back again. They tried to modify it from when they first changed the sign, after they first got the permit to build the Walmart. They immediately, 2 weeks later, put in another petition to double the size of their sign on the road. Of course, we fought that, we won that, because they knew in the overlay what was required. So Walmart knows from the overlay what can be done and what can't be done. And from that, they know it's earth tones. Now, I tell you, they can put a fresh coat of paint on it, earth tones, and it'll look sharper, brighter, jump out at them, and give them that professional look. But we don't need the grays, the blues, the dark blues that stand out. And I'm out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to close the public hearing and offer for the petitioner to address any public comments.
So I know one of the concerns was the non-earth tone colors we were proposing. So you see I guess it's not showing on the screen, but there you go. Yeah, so that middle option was the original option we proposed, and we took into consideration the public concerns from the previous hearing, and that's how we came up with the bottom elevation. So really we're matching more the like muted colors. So really we're just like meeting in the middle between that 2009 elevation and then the corporate change standard that we originally had in mind. So yeah.
So you're not going to paint the brick?
Yeah, that brown is, you see here.
The 2009 elevation where you have all that brick, and then the revised elevation, all that brick, is that staying the same color?
I believe so, yes, that light brown.
Is that what you told us, Philip? Yes. Okay, so all we're really all you're going to do is do the trim color in the muted colors, and the only blue you have is above the main door.
That's right, yeah.
So the entire back will stay the same color, the sides?
There should be, I guess the, okay, yeah, that's what the whole building looks like. From all sides.
So that's the current color now that we're seeing, Philip? No.
But yeah, this is what we're proposing to amend it to, is these elevations.
So you have, in front of you, you should have 3 copies, right, of the drawing. The first one is what it is today. Second one is what they're originally proposing.
Got that.
Third one is what they're doing. So in this
Got that.
scenario, they're painting the back, the light gray. So they're keeping basically, they're keeping brick areas brick, and then whatever is painted or is not of a brick or
Okay.
block, they're painting.
So there's not brick in the back right now?
Correct.
Never was?
No.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. It's okay. All right, got it, understand.
I have no more questions.
No, none. None.
Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, if I could make a quick statement before the motion. That's okay. Just before discussing or voting on the matter, in an abundance of caution and to avoid any negative public perception, I would like to disclose that I do have some Walmart stock. Believe me, I'm a teacher, it's not a lot. But I wanted to just disclose that and to say my ownership of such shares will in no way influence my vote on this matter before us tonight. I have conferred with the county attorney and am satisfied that my participation in this matter will not violate the provisions of the Virginia Conflicts Act. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, I got some stock too, but I forgot to check before I walked in here. Rhonda, it's on my statement of economic interest, but I'll second whatever Martha just read from the county attorney. If you want me to read it, I'll take the sheet of paper and read it, but
Should he
in
read
no
it?
way.
You are fine, Mr. North.
What's that?
You're fine.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, members of the board, I think we have an easy decision or a hard decision. The easy decision is to adhere to the overlay and to reinforce and follow what our planning commission did. That's the easy out. The hard out is to ask a more fundamental question. And I'll state up front, I will support the application and I'll make a motion to approve it. But let me say a few things. Is our zoning power really supposed to worry about what color we paint something? In my mind, zoning always looked at what is the use of a building, what's its location, what's its size, what's its bulk, what's its height. If we have gotten into aesthetics, and all of us have done that, and we've voted on a variety of SUPs or proffers for aesthetics and colors. But is it really our job to look at people's colors? What is an eyesore or not an eyesore is in the eye of a beholder. My preference, my bias for colors is burgundy and gold. I like Washington Redskin colors. Unfortunately, Miss Whitaker, she's ill-informed. She likes Dallas Cowboy blue and silver.
She got on blue tonight, doesn't she?
Other people to my right may like maroon and orange with Virginia Tech.
It's Chicago maroon and burnt orange.
And this blue will irritate everybody who is a University of North Carolina fan.
Uh-oh.
I think blue is beautiful. God made a beautiful blue sky today. I was so happy to see that blue sky yesterday and today. So are we really worrying about blue? I was even ready to make a motion to approve the previous application. Because what are we talking about? They're painting the rim around the door blue. Is that really a zoning issue? And I think the Clearbrook Overlay District, I appreciate all the citizens who worked on it, but I don't think it works. We have renovated Clearbrook Elementary School. You know what the windows and the door are? White. I don't think white is an earth tone, unless you believe that the color white encompasses all colors in the rainbow. If you go down the street a little bit, those of you may remember Randy Kingery, who had his convenience store down there, and Mr. Kingery, I believe, has sold it, and I can't remember the name of the individual who purchased the store. If you look at his roof facade, it's red, white, and blue. American colors. Those aren't earth tones, folks. If you talk about, in our motion, my motion will include a discussion about adverse impact. If you come south on 220, heading towards Franklin, you can't see Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
If you come down Buck Mountain Road from where I live in Cave Spring, you can barely see the roof of Walmart as you come down Buck Mountain. If you coming from south to north, you can see maybe the top of the roof today, but that's only because the leaves on the trees are gone. So if you're talking about somehow painting a portion of, what is that, the front facade blue, I would suggest you won't see it, and I have a hard time believing that that has an adverse impact on the community when none of the other structures in the Clearbrook Overlay District have earth tone colors to them. And we haven't forced any other business to do that. Are we going to force individual homeowners, when they want to paint their doors or their shutters a different color, we're going to say, oh, no, you can't do that because that's in the overlay district? No, we're not. That's silly. And with our Walmart on East 460, we don't require any color scheme for that. So why are we treating this Walmart differently? We're treating it differently because of the overlay district. Why did we put the overlay district in? We wanted to try to create a different look, a different feel. What we were trying to do, we were trying to copy what they were doing in Williamsburg and James City County. Well, guess what, folks? It's been 20 years and it hasn't happened. I would suggest that the overlay district has been a detriment to the Clearbrook neighborhood because it's prevented any kind of positive development in that area. And you look at the development that's there now, you know, if I can put red, white, and blue on the facade of my roof at the Old Kingery store, or I can renovate Clearbrook Elementary and paint it white, the doors and around the windows, that ain't earth tones. Folks, my broader problem is worrying about the color of something. Is that really a legitimate land use issue? I suggest it's not. My bigger problem is I think the overlay district, while it had a great intent and a great goal, I think it's failed, and I think it's harmed the Clearbrook community. So, Madam Chair, my motion is I would move to approve this application. It meets the requirements, 3019.1 of our county code. The special use conforms with the standards set forth in Article 4, our use and design standards. Yes, it does not align specifically with the Clearbrook Village Overlay District design guidelines, but it is in conformance with the remaining terms of our county comprehensive plan. And it will have a minimum adverse impact on the surrounding neighborhood. Because as you drive north or south on 220 or down Buck Mountain Road, you can't see it. And why can't you see it? Because other provisions of the county zoning ordinance, namely our screening and buffering, have accomplished the goal. So if you're going up and down 220 or coming down Buck Mountain, you won't even see it. But if you do see it, you'll barely see a slight line of blue, because that would be at the top.
A2.
Central portion. The previous one was painting blue around the door entrances. That's horrible if you paint blue around the door entrances. I'm being sarcastic. You can't see it, and it won't affect it. I think we have to also include a reference to amending the special use permit as is set out, where you have all buildings on the 41 plus or minus acre site shall be constructed substantial conformance with the architectural plans, including exterior materials and colors prepared by WD Partners dated 6/23/25, entitled Exterior Elevations A2. And I believe A2 is
Last page.
the third page that has been handed out to us previously. Madam Chair, that is my motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
Yeah. I have some. Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah, you know, the petitioner seems to have sent this in today, was it, Philip? And it looks like it's mitigated some of the concerns and only has one of the royal blues, as Mr. Mahoney referenced, which is the corporate color. Doesn't bother me, and I see it over there at 460. As a matter of fact, you can see 460's Walmart probably better than you can this one, because I've also driven down Buck Mountain Road, and, you know, if you didn't know there was a Walmart over there, you might not even know to even turn to go to one over there unless someone tells you. So I think that what they're proposing in this second revision is fine with me. I plan on voting for it. Thank you.
I got a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Mahoney, when we did Mason's Crest, we went through a PRD, and we actually did tell them the colors we were going to use. We eliminated white, so everything is earth tone, but earth tone to us was gray. Gray was in there, yeah. So the muted colors that I'm seeing, other than the blue, we use that all in Mason's Crest for the time I was there for 16 houses. But, you know, that was brown, tans. We didn't have any red, brick, but it was all browns, grays. When you look at stone, it's going to either have a brown to it or
Gray.
Or gray, and that's it. So, you know, I didn't realize that the back of the building, the size was just block, and so they're just going to paint it a different color. So I think the gray, to me, is, in my opinion, is an earth tone color, along with the browns. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll just make a quick comment without being too repetitive, that some of the concerns have been mitigated. I think that they have made an effort to lessen the disagreeable factor with some of the neighbors, and so I feel more comfortable with where we are now. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Radford?
Yes.
Mrs. Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
Yes. Item M, reports and inquiries of the board members. Ms. Hooker?
First thing I want to mention, Madam Chairman, is just a quick shout out to VDOT. What a task that they've had over the last few days. It's important to the safety and well-being of our citizens. There's still work to do, but congratulations on a lot of work that has already been done. Appreciated being able to go to Billy Greenway's retirement party in recognition of over 30 years of service, and still want to congratulate him publicly on his retirement. Dustin Campbell, thank you for all your updates on the weather. That was definitely appreciated from the fire department. And my last word is just to be safe outside. There's still a lot of dangerous roads and neighborhoods. Check on your neighbors and elderly around you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Mr. Mahoney?
I would also like to thank Dustin. I think his daily updates to us were very helpful. It allowed me to respond to a lot of my neighbors who were wondering what the heck's going on and what the projections are. So I think not just Dustin, but the entire emergency response team that we had, they did a great job. Thank you, Dustin. He's gone.
Okay.
That's it.
Mr. Radford?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to thank God for keeping the power on mostly in our county and keeping that storm a lot less intense than what it was. Just a couple of things. I want to thank school board members, Shelley and Brent, for coming over and getting a good understanding of our revenue sharing, and Mr. North and Tammy being involved with that. That was, I thought, very educational. And then also they commented in their meeting last week about the meeting and thought it was very helpful. So, so glad that they were open to that. I plan to try to get Dr. White the same opportunity if administration hasn't already thought about that. But definitely thankful for that. And appreciate the recognition earlier in our meeting for all that. You know, really, the five of us, we trade that position off, and it, you know, it's part of our leadership training that we go through once every 4 years or 5 years. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, the North household lost power today at 1:31. It was supposed to come back on at 6:30, but it came back on 20 minutes later at 1:51. So thank you, Appalachian Power, and all the linemen working out there. We don't usually lose power, but it was a little blur. I'm glad we got it back. Just a few things. I attended the Greater Williamson Road Area Business Association monthly meeting on Tuesday, January 20th, and heard new Virginia Western Community College President Laura Traynor speak. Very vibrant speaker. She's taken the first 6 months to get to know the staff at the college before she has any outside meetings, so I'm sure that at some point in time we'll be hearing more from her. Great transition there from the previous president, been there quite a long time. January 20th, Vice Chair David Radford and I met with staff to review the potential projects for Round 7 of Smart Scale Transportation. We have quite a number of projects, and we're going to see where we can fit them. Potentially, we have, I think it's 4 from the county, part of 4 from the Regional Commission, and part of 4 from the TPO. So I think we've got enough projects. We're going to see what fits in there, and a couple of them were Greenway projects. Something else that I heard too in Smart Scale, this is something that's going to be talked about behind the scenes and maybe with the new transportation secretary, we can start weighing congestion against district projects rather than against other projects in the state. I think they'll score higher, and if that happens to change with the current new Secretary of Transportation, Nick Donahue, it could be better for us on some of our projects in terms of scoring higher. So more later on those projects from staff to the board, I'm sure in a work session later on this year. On January 22nd, we attended our RVTPO meeting and learned more about BRIC efforts. And what is BRIC? It's the Blue Ridge Innovation Corridor that's going to be going forward. They're reorganizing with the first virtual meeting February 11th at 8:30 a.m. It's a long-term vision for 2050 on the corridor of 220 from the Carolina line through Martinsville all the way up here to I-81. So it's a lofty goal. They're going to be choosing who a consultant is to build the business case for seeking funding for improvements along that corridor, not only to the roads, but the road improvements can drive economic growth. And it's supposed to be the 4th largest economic engine in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I think that's only one way to go, and that's up in that corridor. And it could fix some of the winding roads we now see today going down the highway there. In addition, at the RVTPO meeting, we learned about the updated TED economic, which is Transportation Economic Development Regional Study, that has been updated for transportation projects. We have 8 priorities in Roanoke County, of which 3 are greenways, and the remaining are roadways, including 419 Plantation Road, Peters Creek Road, and Williamson Road. And by the way, I just learned that Senate Bill 9 has been carried over to 2027. That's the 1% grocery tax reduction bill that Senator Suetterlein submitted. It would eliminate 1% grocery tax in localities across the Commonwealth. What's been kind of indecisive is how they're going to make up that revenue to the localities. So they're going to carry it over to next year. Now, Delegate McNamara's similar bill is still alive in the House, and we'll see how that goes. I will also mention that the 1% sales tax referendum that has been going back and forth in the House for the last 3 or 4 years, which allows localities to pay for school construction if the localities approve a 1% sales tax addition, passed 70 to 28 in the House along party lines, but several folks on the Republican side did support the bill. I think Delegate Hodges from around King and Queen County, and Delegate Phillips, who's down in the Martinsville area. So that will go over to the Senate. It was sponsored by Delegate Rasool. So there's more news coming out of Richmond than is going into Richmond, so you really got to be drinking water from a fire hose to keep up with it.
When's crossover?
February 17th, I believe it is. And that's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to repeat a little bit about what David Radford spoke of. On Wednesday last week, due to Vice Chair Radford being unavailable, Supervisor North and I met with the school board chair, Shelley Clemens, and Vice Chair Brent Hudson. We had a great meeting, and I also had a detailed overview of the revenue sharing agreement that we have with Roanoke County Schools, ran by Lori Gearhart, our CFO. Our revenue sharing agreement was drawn up in 2014 and has been used since then. We also discussed, on top of the funds that the schools receive from the revenue sharing agreement, we also provide the schools with approximately $800,000 for financial support, and we also pay approximately $7 million of their debt service, and we also provide their payroll services. After meeting with them, we all agreed that Roanoke County does provide a great package to the school systems. If the other school board members, David Linden, Dr. Ryan White, and Tim Greenway would like to have a meeting with our CFO, Lori Gearhart, for her to go in-depth regarding the revenue sharing agreement, please reach out, and we are happy to schedule that and set it up for them as well. We also agreed that going forward, we would like to have a better collaboration, better communication sharing when celebrating our students and schools with each other, and we are going to have a monthly chair-to-chair meeting. I want to sincerely thank Shelley and Brent for their time and willingness to work together going forward. And I also want to thank Lori Gearhart for her time and willingness to give us the opportunity to learn exactly each detail of our revenue sharing agreement. And one other item that I want to point out so that all the citizens know, when you take our budget or our income, education is by far close to 40% of that income going back to education in the revenue sharing agreement. And then the remaining other 30% of it goes to public safety. So keep that in mind when you get your tax assessments this year and your tax bills. That is where all of your money is pretty much going. And I think that's all I've got, other than thanking the county workers for cleaning out the lots this week and keeping everything moving. Without y'all, we couldn't have been here tonight, so thank you.
Madam Chair, if I could just interject one thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not that you left it out, but we just got some fresh information. We give more than double what the minimum requirement is by the Commonwealth of Virginia to support our school system that has 27 buildings. A huge, huge amount of support. And I just want to thank the two folks over there at the school board, Vice Chair Hudson and Chair Clemens, who spoke in complimentary fashion to not only what they learned from Lori Gearhart, but what Roanoke County Board of Supervisors does to support our schools. And look forward to working with them in the future as we move through time. And that was perhaps one of the most productive meetings I've been in a long time on a chair to vice chair basis. Thank you.
They were very complimentary, and I do appreciate their information and their commentary as well. Item N, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I think I got a first and a
Hooker?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mrs. Shepherd?
yes.